Joining us up on stage now is my good friend Andy Rogers. He'll be speaking with Adrian Vella, CEO of Tipico US, and we're talking about tech-driven innovation and retention. Up to you, mate.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Can you hear me okay? Hopefully, yes. Oh, I can hear myself now. That's really good. So this is a fireside chat about technical innovation and retention. Thank you, Andy. Obviously, very delighted to be joined by Adrian here. It's a fireside chat with no fireside, but maybe we should dim the lights and become more intimate. And we're going to see if we can get some real insight today from Adrian's journey in the US. So let's kick off. Before we get into some of the specifics around the business, maybe you could give us just a bit of an idea about Tipico's journey into the US and where you've come from. And it's a quite significant business, isn't it? So
Yeah. So first of all, thank you for making time for me, and very happy to be here with you all. For everyone who doesn't know Tipico, we've been in operation for around 17 years. We are the largest operator in all of Germany, very substantial in Germany, from 1,000 plus retail stores, one of the largest shop chains in all of Germany, but as well the #1 sportsbook product on the market. Through all that experience, we always found that controlling our destiny, controlling our technology, being local to the market, and as well running a complete sportsbook DNA from betting, trading, risk really matters. And that was really our success in Europe. So we are considered as the local sportsbook for the German market. We're the German sportsbook in Germany, with previous sponsorships with Oliver Kahn, Bundesliga today. We control all media with Sky and everything else. So it's really being local and relevant. Now, when we went into the US, we were there from day one. 2018, Pass per Pass was this gold rush. Everyone was jumping in. It was all about how can I release as many markets as quickly as possible. Everyone was plugging in on some B2B provider. It was all about acquisition. And we saw the market. We knew we were going to compete against the largest sportsbooks in the world.
Yep.
Infinite marketing spend, brands that had a database already, or some really niche loyalty program like the casino brands. And they had assets which were meaningful. So when we were looking at it on how to be effective, but as well how to take some market share, we decided to take the hard route and really create a business in the US that is, its own business with its own management team, with its own people who understand the US market, but as well create a technology tech stack and betting and trading and everything else that is bespoke for the US. So that when we, compete, we can as well differentiate and find our place on the market. And if you see some E&K reports, we're #4 in live betting. We're best casino on the market right now. And lately as well, we've released, which we can talk about today, this Fair Play Pledge about being transparent to the customer, but we as well released a gamified, mission-driven bonus functionality on cashback on the product, which is the first time on the market. It's really differentiating, and we're really getting a lot of good signs on the market around it.
Good. I think we'll definitely dive deeper into the Fair Play Pledge in a bit, but as a player in the market now, you're in BAU, you're across multiple states. How have you observed the market's approach to product and technology innovation, specifically around marketing or retention? What's your view there?
Yeah, in the beginning, it was all this bazooka marketing. Everyone was acquiring as much as they can.
Yep.
A lot of the brands have relevant brands that are known in the US. Everyone wanted to try and release as many states as possible. But back then, it was a lot of B2B products, all commodity products. Over the last 2 years, we saw that shifts completely. And everyone is buying technology or building technology. Mm-hmm. And that's because, as well, the shift from acquisition to retention is very more prominent. So everyone is more interested in how to drive a profitable business and how to make a customer retain you with you for a reason with less bonus money so that you have profitable cohorts. And yeah, you can drive revenue. And that's really now the focal point of the US market today.
Yeah. I guess that you guys have all seen this as well, that we've moved from just a land grab of players being the KPI, number of players, a number of registrations being the KPI of success to actually
Correct.
having to run a profitable business in some way, shape,
Correct.
or form. Yeah.
Even on, on equity markets, you see that companies were evaluated on future growth. Now they're evaluated on,
Yeah.
EBITDA, cash flow, and profit. And there's this shift in mindset too, which comes with maturity of the market, but as well, everyone understands the market better, even the analysts on the market. So it's really changing that focus and figuring out how to best retain a player, or in our industry we say how to retain wallet share of a player.
Yep.
In a easy way, and not only bonusing them, coming in, play a bit, and then go back to the number one and number two of the market, but how to make them stick with you and make your experience sticky, and make some sort of feeling with the player that they're getting maybe more value or more transparency or something which is different.
Yeah. And I think, obviously, you guys are looking at sort of hyperlocality. You're looking at those things, and again, maybe we can touch on those later. But do you think that your corporate experience, your corporate ideology, and across Germany and other countries, has that helped you in the US? Has that given you some of that awareness of not just a gold rush, but you have to retain players, you have to be I know that sounds stupid, that we need to make money, right? We have to keep the players, make some money.
I know.
But it hasn't been the case, right? And you're right, the analysts didn't value that at one point, so.
Correct. Yeah, helped us a lot. I mean, again, number one market leader in Germany, and for sure in Germany we're the number one wallet of every bettor. And we know what it feels to be on the other side.
Yeah.
It's a very good life to be on the other side. But we as well know what it takes to get there. And we took that in mind. But I think as well, what was really helpful was our, knowledge around how to build the right products, how to, drive the right customer rating models, how to drive the right margin, how can you really create a profitable business. And I think we took all of that. But as well, in the last 4 years, we learned so much on the market. I mean, the market is completely different than Europe. How customers bet, what is important to them, the product that you need to build, even the whole landscape with market access, the sponsorships that are being signed, the media partners, everything is extremely more different. And
some of them going away as of today, if you've seen the 888 news today.
Yeah. And I think it was 4 years of learning, and now we found our place. You talked a bit about hyperlocal. If you look at what we're doing, for example, in Ohio, it's extremely hyperlocal. We have Columbus Crew. It's one of the most prominent sponsorship in Columbus. We signed all the relevant, bars and breweries, everything where people in Columbus hang out and watch sports.
Interesting.
We as well took this whole hyperlocal brand when it comes to sponsorships with influencers, athletes that care in Ohio.
Yep.
And as well, the whole image of being, hyper-relevant in Ohio, meaning even the ads are hyper-local to every single, city in Ohio. We create offers that are relevant to them. We really try and not be this national brand, because we don't have the sponsorships or the money to be the national brand, but what we have is an ability to have a product which is relevant to them and really create this ecosystem of emotional connection in that state that is relevant to us.
Yeah.
And I think that creates a difference. So that's
and we were talking about AI earlier, so that can help with that creativity, that localization?
I mean, we can talk about AI, the buzzword of the century right now.
Andy said he'd give me 20 quid if I got it in, so I will have that.
We use a lot of AI to predict behavior of bettors, segment bettors to figure out what bonuses to give them, how we build our mission-driven systems, how we do our media. But it's more, we use AI more for optimization than anything else, not for personalization. or being, emotionally connected to a better.
Yeah. And what, in terms of where you've got to today and maybe just the forward projection for the next 6 months, what are the biggest challenges that you're seeing? Like what's your daily struggle? What are the things you need to knock down? Or is it an industry-wide thing? It's not just you.
Yeah, I think it's an industry-wide thing to be a challenger brand in the US and really make an individual state work.
Yep.
A state that is sportsbook only, but a state that is with sportsbook and casino. So we are in both. We're in New Jersey, we're in Ohio. We put a lot of marketing money around Ohio. And really try and find your way and your place in the market as a challenger brand. I think we came really far, and as well with what we released. Our experience on the market from a product perspective is very different, as well how we market it from a marketing perspective. But, we keep tweaking, we keep improving, and we keep trying to find our place. And once we do that, then we can scale. Market access is not a niche anymore. You can get market access as much as you want, much cheaper than it was before. So it's really important to make the P&L work, your customer cohorts work, really know why they're with you. And then when that is figured out, which we're, again, getting much closer, then we can put money on it and scale it.
Interesting.
So we're taking slightly a different approach than other challenger brands on the market.
Yeah, interesting. And obviously, as part of your ongoing commitment to the player, you've got the recent announcement of the Fair Play Pledge. Can you give us a bit more background about that and how it sort of speaks to your tech innovation and the marketing side?
Yeah, that's a really good one. So we're trying, again, to do something different. So when we tried so many features on the market and we, talk to customers on a daily basis, we analyze our customer data on a daily basis. And what we realized is that simplicity, at the end, a sportsbook is a transactional platform, being seamless, no friction, being fast, but as well being transparent to our customer. Sometimes you're always on the other side. The customer feels that the sportsbook is out to get them. And as well, with us being a challenger brand, maybe not everyone knows your name. There is not that trust with the brand right away. So all of this is around building trust, being transparent with the player, being honest with the player, and really give them an experience that is the simplest on the market, all in the app, all integrated. And with that, as well, we're trying to revolutionize how we do bonusing.
Okay.
So today, you can go on the app. If you bet whatever amount, you will see a mission-driven bonus engine in every bet slip. And you get your money in cash back real time. There is no caveats to it. You can withdraw it right away. And that adds that trust, If you bet with us, you always know what money you get, and adds value.
Yeah.
And we do that as well on the casino front. So casino, we want the best product in casino. We went with a very modern approach because we want to base that product not only to male, but only to female. Female slot players, which is a piece in the market which is not fully explored yet, but we're really getting good traction. Even if you see our brand there, it's more colorful, it's more fun. We call it the inner winner. And that one, we based our product on more like the Netflix-style approach. It's more recommended. It's a cleaner look than what you will find in maybe a land-based casino product style. And again, there we're trying to do something different too. But it's a different customer base.
It's interesting. Is it so? You're not moving down to maybe an individual personalization level, but a cohort offering, for those kind of things?
Yeah, and then later on you can personalize even further on a micro level once you know your players on a CRM or VIP base. But at the end of the day, you really need to know from a cohort perspective who is your customer and how you can keep that piece of the market with you.
Yeah.
We're not attacking to be the number one in the market, but the US market is big enough that even if you take a small piece in the states you're relevant in, you can drive a good P&L. Yeah. And that's good enough.
Yeah. From our experience, we see there's a difference in being able to collect the data and then being able to do something with it. How do you sort of bridge that gap? You obviously this Fair Play Pledge is quite a part of that. You're activating something there. You've got an initiative, but do you have other ways that you sort of activate your data?
Yeah, data is a big part of our organization. My background in the past was data too.
Right.
So I love that piece of life. But yeah, underneath every platform, because we build all the platforms ourselves, the PAM, the casino, the sportsbook, the betting, the trading, we push data in real time. We have a lot of engineers who model that, and then we prolong that everywhere from CRM to all the ecosystems. But what it does is gives the customer one view.
Yep.
And then a consolidated experience through all our touch points. So if it's a VIP or a CS agent, or maybe the limits we give them on a sportsbook perspective, or it gives this transparent experience. And I think that's the most powerful thing we do with data today.
I think it's really interesting that you talk about, owning your own stack and owning your own technology, giving you some competitive advantage. Is the combination of that plus your activities, plus your initiatives like Fair Play, is that the major competitive advantage? Is that how you're looking to outperform the market?
Correct. We believe that products win when you give something different, when you give an experience that is superior. You retain customers for something else than bonus money. And that's our whole strategy from day one. And yeah, from, again, E&K reports or any analyst on the market, you can see that with quite a lean team, 100 plus developers, we achieved a lot.
Yeah, amazing.
And we will keep pushing there, and you will see more innovation on the product perspective, more innovation on anything we do when it comes to sportsbook experience and casino experience in the market.
Yep. And do you when you see any? Is there challenges in owning your own technology? I mean, is there any reason you'd recommend going to plug in, multiple third parties? I mean, obviously all the operators have a different ecosystem.
I think you need to know what you are. So our niche is sportsbook and building casino platforms. So I will never go and build a CRM platform myself.
Right.
I get the experts to do that for me, and then I'll connect my niche product propositions to it. The same with feeds or anything else. But yeah, controlling your tech stack helps. And on top of that, it allows you to differentiate for sure.
Yep. So let's talk about measurement. What's your measures of success? And I'm particularly interested when you talk about the Fair Play Pledge and the systems that you've got there, front, middleware, and back end. How are you measuring success there?
I think it's different layers. So when you look at it from a very high level, from a P&L perspective, is really making CLV cohorts work, getting customer the right price, get them stay with your book for a reason, getting the right revenue trajectory, but as well seeing that stickiness with your products and with your marketing and with your communication, and really understand that you're getting them better on a trajectory, so that if I spend 300 CPA on a player today, I can get it back next time, and I'm comfortable with that. And then from there, I can really scale my marketing. So I think that's from a very high level. On a much lower level, we monitor all customer touchpoints. So from app interaction, app comments, customer service comments, surveys we do every month, surveys we do every week, interviews, analysts. We measure all of that. Mm-hmm. And I think the more, we're seeing improvement. You will see that underlayer noise gets less loud every day. Mm-hmm. And the complaints we get are less. The customer feedback is better, and you start seeing that shift.
Quiet players are happy players.
Yeah, and that really adds confidence to everyone internally too, and adds such a good energy. So it's both.
Yeah. And how do you drive your sort of technology strategy? How do you come up with what you're doing over the next 6 to 12 months or beyond that? As you look at your rollout strategy for the business. I
mean, first of all, we monitor competitors inside out. I mean, everyone employed has right now, which is on a management level, but as well on a senior tech level, have more than 10 years experience in building products.
Right.
And I think as well from our experience over the last 5 years, I think we learned a lot. And on top of that, you get as well everyday customer feedback. So if you combine all of that, the analysts, the competitors, our own experience from maybe operating these products in the European markets, but as well now 4 to 5 years in the US, which means a lot. Very few competitors can say that, apart from the big ones, that they have 5 years in the US market. And then when you combine all of that, we iteratively change our roadmap and optimize our roadmap every 6 months.
Yeah. Okay, good. And if I was to be a little bit, confrontational,
Yeah.
I would say, I've looked at the Fair Play Pledge, and you're streamlining betting, you're giving more rewards to players. Is that contradictory to your, responsible gambling situation? Is that...
No, actually being very fair.
Okay.
So they bet X, they get Y.
Yep.
They can withdraw that money right away, so there is no responsible gambling issue because actually giving them cash. When it comes to as well responsible gambling protection, all our CS agents, our payment agents, everyone is in New Jersey. They know their player, they speak the same language, everyone is on the ground. And actually in New Jersey, if you look at our last PR release, we just won even an award from the New Jersey regulator about responsible gambling.
Congratulations, yeah.
Which is one of the only operators who did that right now from the labs of the regulator. So we take that very seriously.
Yep.
And I think this whole notion of no caveats, this whole notion of simplicity, that really adds, because then the customer really knows where their money is going, how they're using their cash, what caveats they have to withdraw their money, and really controls as well their behavior well. They can limit in any shape or form their behavior on the product directly.
Yep.
And, we inform them about that.
That's
continuously.
very good. I guess that, RG is going to become more important.
Always. With the maturity, you have to be very well prepared on that.
Yeah. And looking at that platform for the Fair Play Pledge, how do you see that evolving over time? Have you got next steps already? Can you give anyone a sneak peek of maybe what's coming, or,
Yeah, you will see that we will put a lot of focus now on simplicity. We'll change our whole UX of the product over the last 9 months, and you will see much more there. The bonusing, how we're doing today, that's the start. We have one mission on cashback, but we will take it very far because everything is controlled internally. And then the whole notion of being transparent with the bettor, as well RG and everything else. We're as well investing quite a lot of effort with Brian, our SVP of Compliance and Legal, on that side, as well with the regulators, to invest even more on that side. So those three together are really the core assets.
Awesome.
And we will keep trying to give the player the best experience, to add trust with them. And, they make us the book of choice.
Yeah. And we've got a couple of minutes now. Just if we future gaze, what are you most excited about as the CEO of the business? What's getting you up in the morning and,
Yeah, I mean, I love working with my team. I love innovating in this market, which is so competitive.
Yeah.
It's
a good fight, isn't it?
It's a good fight, yeah. I'm really looking forward from, when we keep improving as we are, so that we can as well scale a little. But in reality is this notion of tweaking, of grinding every day, of improving how we operate, how we improve our experience. That really makes me wake up in the morning and happy about what I do, because it's very rare in any industry where you're in a market where you can innovate on a customer-facing product that is so widely used, and you have full control of that, and it's very exciting.
It's quite unique. And,
in any industry, So that's something that I think we should really appreciate in this industry, that we can do that.
Yeah. Well, look, congratulations on where you've got to today. I'm sure it's just the start, and we look forward to seeing what happens over the next few years. We've just about run out of time. I'm not sure we'll take a couple of questions, if there is any, but there's just one at the back there.
Thank you. One question regarding this bonus program and cash. Question regarding this bonus program and cashback reward. Speaking from the side as an operator also in Europe. So how dangerous can be strategically in the long run, putting perhaps too big power into the hands of the players?
Yeah.
So what would happen if your competitors now will come up with the same thing, but just saying, okay, Tipico is giving 5%, now we're going to do 6%. Then you have to come up with, on top of that with the 7%. So decreasing your revenue. To sum up the question, would it be better maybe to put this battle onto the field of technology, odds, sports offer, something like that?
So a great question. So thanks a lot for that. I don't think, so from how we see it, if a competitor, one of the large big four goes and mirrors us, I would be super happy. That means I'm doing the right thing. I think what costs me to do something like that will be very expensive for the big boys to pull off because they have a much bigger database. On the other hand, we have a lot of controls underneath to make sure we control it. So after 5 bets, we theoretical margin with AI predict their lifetime value, and we can predict how sharp they are. We control as well all our betting and trading, so we can control our offer up and down. So knowing that we have so much control, and knowing as well that our PAM and bonus engine and everything else is so flexible that tomorrow I can do a mission-driven free bet, a mission-driven anything else. I'm really not afraid of it today, but I know that I can be flexible in the future. And again, being the challenger brand, there are some values of it. And one of them is that I can afford something like this and I can differentiate, where the big boys will think maybe 5 times because it affects such a bigger P&L. And I think that's quite powerful of where we are today.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Adrian.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.